Hi everybody, welcome to Tech Growth Stocks channel. Today I present you a new episode. Specifically, I will give you 5 strong disruptive tech stocks. So these are way disruptive stocks. They have strong growth and good momentum as well, and they are in the tech space. So I think it definitely pays to watch that video until the end and have a look with me at all of these nice stocks. So before I start right off with the first tech stock, I have to make a short disclaimer. This video does not constitute financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only, so please consider that. And also one more quick note. Please subscribe now to my channel with a link in the description below so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me. So please subscribe now. Okay, everybody, so that was it for the intro. So let's start right off with the first strong disruptive tech stock for 2021. And it is TSLA, Tesla. Here you can see the longer term chart of Tesla. And as you can see, let's say from around 2015 now, or 2014 until December 2019, we have been moving sideways in Tesla for quite a long period, and in December 2019 we broke out of that sideways moving period and traded strongly to the upside and formed a very strong uptrend in Tesla. The short-term chart, you see that very strong uptrend, and you see as well recently from August 31st until around 18th of November we have been moving sideways, or we had a period of pause in Tesla. In that uptrend we had a period of pause, which is a base, and we could break out of that base, of that period of pause on November 18th and trade strongly to the upside in Tesla and continue strongly with its very strong uptrend. And from a growth perspective, Tesla is looking okay. The EPS growth is not the strongest; it's minus 12%, but the sales growth is good, is okay with 17%, and the relative strength rating is way good with 98. And Tesla is in a hot sector in the vehicles and EV space, which has been a leading sector over the last years. So I think Tesla is definitely a very strong disruptive tech stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Tesla. Now let's have a look at the next strong disruptive tech stock for 2021. And it is MCRB, Ceres Therapeutics. Here you can see the longer term chart of Ceres Therapeutics. And as you can see, Ceres Therapeutics was in a long-term downtrend until around May 2020, where it could reverse from that downtrend. And we then in subsequent in August 2020, we had a strong breakout, a very strong volume breakout in Ceres Therapeutics, and it propelled the stock price to a new high level, and now we are base building since then in that new level. And I think that strong breakout clearly shows very strong momentum in the stock, and I think this also could mark the time point for a very strong run going forward, if we could break out above these levels around the 29-ish area in Ceres Therapeutics. Ceres Therapeutics growth characteristics: the EPS growth is good with 37%. Sales growth is not the strongest, it's minus 66%, but the relative strength rating is excellent with 98, and it's in a hot sector in the biotech space, and it shows this very strong momentum and volume move here. So I think Ceres Therapeutics is definitely a strong disruptive tech stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Ceres Therapeutics. Now let's have a look at the next strong disruptive tech stock for 2021. and it is NTLA, NTLA Therapeutics. NTLA, here you can see, here we had a downtrend in NTLA, and we traded around these bottoms for quite some time, and then we broke out in May 2020 above these highs of the bottom, formed a high handle here, and could break out of that high handle in October 2020 and form a nice and very strong uptrend in NTLA. In the short-term chart here, you see a sideways base, which corresponds to that base here, and the breakout here on November 4th, and a very strong move to the upside in a parabolic fashion in NTLA. NTLA's growth characteristics: the EPS growth is not the strongest, it's 2%, but the sales growth is very strong with 78%, and the relative strength rating is also very good with 96. And NTLA is in a hot sector in the biotech space, so I think NTLA is definitely a strong disruptive tech stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for NTLA. Now let's have a look at the next strong disruptive tech stock, and it is PINS, Pinterest. Here you can see the longer term chart of Pinterest, and as you can see, Pinterest was an IPO in April 2019. After its IPO, it formed a nice IPO base here, and you can see that in October 2019, it broke down from that IPO base, so it broke out to the downside from that IPO base. That can happen as well. You can break out to the upside from the IPO base, or you can break down to the downside, or you can break out to the downside from the IPO base. Both is possible. Yeah, it broke down, and then it formed a new downtrend, and it marked its low around March 2020 together with a Corona breakdown low, and it could reverse from that low since then and trade strongly to the upside and form a nice and new uptrend. Short-term chart, you see that uptrend here. You see we have been trading higher and higher, and here we bounce off the 30-day moving average, and now it looks like here we bounce off the 50-day. Now we are around the 40-day moving average. I think a bounce could be coming soon again in Pinterest. So I think from a technical standpoint, Pinterest is looking good, and there could be soon a very attractive entry point. Pinterest's growth characteristics: the EPS growth is not the strongest, it's minus 62%, but the sales growth is good with 31%, and the relative strength rating is good as well with 93. And Pinterest is in a hot sector in the interactive media and communication services space, and I think it has an excellent social media platform. So I think Pinterest is definitely a strong disruptive tech stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Pinterest. Now we come to the last strong disruptive tech stock for 2021 for today, and it is Square. Here you can see the longer term chart of Square, and as you can see, Square has been trading sideways for quite some time here, from let's say October 2018 until around June 2020, and also last year 2020 we made the low of that sideways moving phase in March 2020 together with a Corona pandemic breakdown low, and we could reverse from that low and trade strongly to the upside in Square and form a nice and very strong uptrend since then. In the short-term chart, you see that strong uptrend here, and you can see here we bounce off the 50-day moving average. Here we undercut it, but we bounce off the 100-day. The blue line, the green line corresponds to the 100-day moving average, so we bounce off that as well. And recently here we bounce off the 30-day moving average, And I think Square, from a technical standpoint, it's looking very good. And I think around these levels, it's an excellent buy. Yeah, Square's growth characteristics. The EPS growth is good with 32%. The sales growth is very strong with 102%. And Square is in a hot sector in the tech software sector, which has been a leading sector for quite some years now. So I think Square is definitely a strong disruptive tech stock for 2021. Okay, so these were the disruptive tech stocks for today. I hope in that video are some nice stocks for you which you can use for your research. And also please subscribe to my channel with the link in the description below, so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me. So please subscribe now. And also I had fun making that video, and I thank you for watching. And I think this year will be an excellent stock trading year with all that fiscal and monetary stimulus going on from all of these central banks and governments around the world. So I think this will propel stock prices from high to high. And in the end, I think we could have a very strong run in the tech stocks. So I think it definitely pays if you cover the tech sector strongly, and this you can do with my channel. Okay, so thank you, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.